All right, all right. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Hello, chat. Good evening. Um, Great. So, just got done getting a haircut and wanted to hop on today. I'm actually going to be traveling tomorrow, and I don't have the ability to record the whole day, so I'm going to miss out on tomorrow. Just FYI, I will not be streaming and recording the day tomorrow, so we will lose out on preliminary U of M, consumer sentiment, and Empire State Manufacturing Index, which is tomorrow. So let's take a look at the screen. Economic factors, so 8:30 a.m., 9:15, and 10 o'clock a.m. Those are key points in time that you want to be keeping your eye out for. We've had a really interesting week. I'm going to go over what happened today in the markets so that you can take a look in that and see if you saw the same type of analysis. And then I'm going to talk about where I believe the market is going to be headed next. Okay, so we're looking at the daily chart right now. Keep in mind any red lines are my monthly markers, yellow lines are my weekly markers, purple is daily, and then others are others. So taking a look at this range that we are in right now, we can kind of see we're smack dab in the middle of this downswing there, and we've just come up just to this point now. So also keep in mind that these past few days, let me zoom in a little bit so it's easier to see. Keep in mind we started here, right? So what has price done? It has rocketed, come back down, dipped down in CPI, and instantly gotten bought up. Same like this for the 2 days. It actually reached for liquidity that we had outlined this morning. If you didn't watch the live stream this morning, go back and watch that, because I outlined this before PPI came out that it was going to go for these two levels here. I'll talk about why in a moment, but just know that this is where we're at on the daily right now. So what happened this today? It basically opened, went down to take a few stops, and then proceeded to continue forward and take out both of these buy side liquidities, aiming for this daily volume imbalance. And you can see there on this volume imbalance that looks like this is slightly, oops, I didn't want to do that. This is slightly off there. There we go. So you can see, if I can get this straight, you can see that price dug up into that and then rejected from the top there. So what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at the lower time frame to see what happened during the day. So the hourly. So taking a look at the hourly from today, can kind of stop there because this goes from Asia all the way down and up through here. What did we note at 8:30 a.m.? We knew that there was going to be an event, right? So we were watching out to see which side would it take out first. What liquidity is it trying to take out first? On the hourly, if you recall, during my pre-market prep, I didn't love where we were at. I could see that there were some downside objectives to be taken. I could see that there's some upside objectives to be taken. This consequent encroachment here of the wick, this was kind of important because there's a couple of things that this refers to, and the key thing here is the midway point on this wick. You can see that this directly, almost exactly, went down to this wick and then rejected from that point onwards. And you'll see this in the lower time frames, how price came back down after open to that very specific spot, and then it turned around completely. So I will be bringing up a couple of lower time frame, um, charts to help illuminate that and show you what it looked like from a much smaller time frame perspective. And I think that that will help you gauge why and how you could see that it was ready to go. So let's go down. I mean, from the hourly, once it hit that consequent encroachment, we see evidence that price is wanting to continue to go up to tackle this initial buy side liquidity. I think that price ends up doing exactly that and takes out even some of these other liquidities that we had written down right before open. Why did it do that? Well, you can see, look at the bodies of these candles. They've really formed a low, high, higher low, and it's going to make a higher high today, which is what it aimed for. So this is the trend that we were looking at based on a weekly expansion model. And for tomorrow, because we've hit a point of liquidity here, I do think that there's still some room to move upwards, but I am watching to see if there's evidence of institutions wanting to break this downwards. So either we end up breaking above here, retest and continue. I don't know how feasible that is, given these are weekly order blocks and weekly rejection blocks. So quite strong, but we do also have this buy side liquidity up there that I think we're going to reach for in the coming day, if not days. So let's drill down further so we can take a look at some of the screens, some of the more minutia on this chart. Okay, so keep in mind, we drew out these buy side liquidities, and we didn't know that they were going to go for them until price hit them, but we anticipated that bouncing here and then taking out this relative, this low, and bringing in those, bringing in the draw towards these buy side areas. So price ends up doing exactly what we expected. So we have this low, they're relative equal lows. Price wicks down all the way to the consequent encroachment of that hourly wick, and then proceeds to continue forward. Yeah, now there is this fair value gap here on the 15-minute. It's too big, so I don't want to create that box on the car or on the on this video yet. So and I don't want to clutter up the space, so we're gonna just trust that this is this kind of like gap remains there, and that we're looking at we're looking in the right direction, looking bullish on Thursday. So let's go down to a 5-minute, see if we can find anything. Okay, so we see kind of like that on the 5-minute, there was a little bit of room there that was left unfinished. Price went down, took it, bounced, created a displacement. So this whole move is much larger than any of the other moves there, right? So we consider that to be displacement. And what do we look for after a low, high, lower low? Well, we see that this whole area is a bullish breaker. So after this impulse high, we wait for the retrace, come on in, retrace, come on in, and eventually it does hit that volume imbalance. So and that's what price ends up dawdling around during this time period. It will be particularly troublesome if we see Asia just chop and then London take out both Asia high and low. Those are situations where you're probably not going to have the best morning trading session because a lot of people are going to be fighting, right? So something to keep in mind there. And then on the 1 minute, okay, I think this is the 1 minute here. Okay, great. Okay. So on the 1 minute, you can kind of see the shift in market structure down there. So we have this fair value gap that was needed to be touched, and this breakaway gap that did not need to be touched. So once that happens, off to the races, and continues to the price continues up basically from there. Okay, so let's zoom out to talk market review and where we think that price is going to go tomorrow. For that, I need the 15-minute at least. Okay, so we're pulling back fund settlement after a couple weeks, and or wait, not fund settlement. We're pulling back. I was just thinking about work for a second. We're pulling back to a 15-minute chart. We're looking at what happens after it's hit these buy-side liquidities and the volume imbalance. So right now, this is forming a bit of a bull flag in retail terminology, so that always weirds me out, especially if we've touched a weekly premium level, that rejection block. If the Thursday expansion continues, meaning if we don't get a lower low than this low, I would be inclined to say that price is going to continue to come up to the rejection block and maybe the weekly weekly bearish order block up here. The reason why I say that is that there's a 15784 buy side liquidity draw. It's a liquidity draw, not an imbalance draw, and I think that it does have some juice. If I take a look at what else is left, technically there's some room left down here to really capitalize on. That certainly makes me slightly weary, but at the end of the day, I'm not trading that Friday. So if you are trading, be careful. I definitely do still see a little bit more upside to the, or a little bit more to the upside. And then if they want to fill that up with, Hello Kitty mugs, no big deal. They can just keep their sentiment there. If they want to drop the price all the way back down, great. If they want to jack it up all the way, I have these levels, 15784 ready to go. We've got the week bearish order block ready to go, 1 week rejection block to go, and yeah, I think we're going to try to knock that out. If we can't beat this volume imbalance, then there's certainly stuff to look at on the way back. So we would need to see displacement after one of these two major major points, major short-term lows in this engagement, because right now it's kind of flat. So yep, I think that's it. I mean, my bias. I do see some imbalance down here that it certainly could take. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, one last thing I wanted to show you. So this is the real-time hour chart that I'm holding right now. You can kind of see how the breaker that I had noted on the 5-minute also coincides, or 15-minute also coincides with communications there on that side. So either way, I mean, this does look like relative equal lows. It could certainly retrace there and then head higher, or just drop from here and call it a TGIF play. So with that, I'm running on 3 hours of sleep, so I am not in my best shape. Not going to be trading tomorrow. I'm going to be flying to LA. So hopefully you all caught the trades that were taken today. There were some pretty good bangers today, and I hope to continue the journey there. I will let everybody know how far I've gotten once I start to collect on the performance accounts. I want to create a few more evaluation accounts and turn them into performance accounts before I take anything with those accounts. So more to come soon. I will end up, trading live when I can, but until then, we'll record the sessions except for tomorrow's. I won't have any way to record tomorrow's session, so unfortunately we won't capture all the price action for this week, but we'll definitely come back on Monday and start to capture those as well. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Need to go pack and get ready for LA. So hope you all have a pleasant and properly just a properly wonderful day tomorrow, and we will catch up soon. Take care. Bye.